Welcome back to another YouTube video of FX where we make trading very simple. Now in today's video I'll be breaking down gold and Nasdaq, so stay tuned till the end of the video to get the gems. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and if you're not new here, welcome back Flare family. It's always good to have you back. Right, so now tapping into gold, I'm analyzing it from the last week. I'll put the link over here. Right, it's been going pretty well. I've been getting so many feedback from you guys, from Instagram, from TikTok. Like, the love is immaculate. Thank you guys so much. But let's get back into business. So with gold, it's been moving very nice. It has respected the auto block. I'll just bring back the drawings that we had from last week. Let me just tap them over here. Beautiful clean cut finish, right? So last week we were anticipating that price will come and respect this auto block after a reaction off of this one. Clean cut finish relatively over here. We anticipated that it was going to respect this auto block and fly all the way down over here, right? Which it did. Let's just tap into the 4-hour time frame. So yeah, yes, so this is the daily the POI that we have marked out on the daily time frame. So gold did come in with a flag pattern to respect it and push higher and higher, right? So now there's a lot of anticipation that I can really see. I'll just move this daily POI because it is the one that we have thingy. So we could mark this out even as liquidity. I see some sort of liquidity over here. Yes, we could mark this out as liquidity, as I can clearly see over here. Clean cut finish. So we can anticipate price to break this high. And remember what I said on the weekly time frame, right? Look at this. I'm anticipating gold to come over these highs, kind of maybe either respect it the same way it did or just break above, just so you could purge that liquidity. Because you can see even the strong movement from that weekly candlestick is beautiful. So let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Clean cut finish. So yes, right now we have a break of structure. Price is moving higher and higher. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame just for cleanliness, or maybe 1 hour actually. We're tapping into the 1-hour time frame. Price has played around. It doesn't move really cleanly up. It's just impulse of some weird correction impulse. So it's very difficult to catch those entries, right? But we've gotten to a point where now I've reached a point where this is the target that I'm planning on taking, right? Some of us in the team have taken entries based on the daily candlestick, the daily POI. So if you are interested in getting these signals from me straight away and understanding how I break down different currency pairs, the link is in the description about my mentorship and everything in terms of the funded account. So make sure to click that link. All the students are killing. So now let's step into, I think I got this auto block on the 15-minute time frame, right? But before I go to the 15-minute, my bad, let me just explain everything so we can get a reference, right? So now price did come down over here. This is the daily POI, right? There's respect. There was some respect to the auto block, right? So clean cut finish immediately once you broke after this trend line. We know there's a change of character that initially happened. For my flag pattern traders, we really know this is a break of structure indicating that price will go higher and higher, right? So now I was mainly interested in this area over here, mainly because of this this trend line. If I could put it like this, right, I could push it all the way over here, right? So it's a whole uptrend. So I'm anticipating price will just bounce on this trend line until it reaches this top, or it could just break. Like, price isn't something we can anticipate. We can only just predict and react. So going to the 15-minute time frame, right, getting the auto block that I can clearly see, right? So I'm very interested in either executing gold over here on this point or relatively over here on the 30-minute time frame. I think is where it's a little bit cleaner. The 30-minute, let's just tap into the 30-minute. Beautiful card. Yeah, there is some sort of an auto block over here, but this one is relatively clean. It's very visible, especially in the 30-minute, and it's relatively right below, like, let's just use this low and this high. It's like relatively by the 50% zone. So I'm anticipating that price would come back into the 50% plus the trend line. You get what I mean? To go to skyrocket a little bit higher. Let me just use this as an entry point. So we would execute based on this, right? Take profit 1 would be this for sure. Clean cut finish. Take profit 2 would be here, right? And then overall take profit, if you are someone who's willing to hold all the way to the top, I do anticipate that gold will come to that high. So yeah, you could probably just buy it here and just hold it off until the end of the year, maybe beginning of next year, see how price moves. But it's a clean cut execution, guys. Like, gold has been respecting our setups for the last few weeks. Like, look at this pattern as well. So we call this pattern separation. But yeah, like, as you can clearly see, once price does respect here, take profit 1 could be definitely hit, mainly because it's also relatively on the trend line. So we'll see how price does respect as the week goes on. But gold has been moving very nice, and I think for anybody who's looking to take these opportunities, you should capitalize. Now let's head over to Nasdaq. All right, so now we are tapping into Nasdaq. As you can clearly see, before I even mark out any structure, right, as you can see, we were in a downtrend. Price did change character over here and started skyrocketing higher and higher. We initially hit the take profit that we were anticipating based on the execution of the order block that was relatively over here, right? Let me put back my drawing so we can see what we've been seeing for the past few weeks, right? So this is the daily time frame, just for reference, so you can understand the whole entire time frame, right? So now look at this, right? We were anticipating that price would break out of this thing mainly because of the flag pattern, right? Let's just use the daily time frame one more time just for explanation's sake. So look, this is a flag pattern, right? Price is falling, right? And then we anticipated that it's gonna break out of the structure and then mitigate this to take profit, right? So which it has already done. Take profit has been hit, but I'm still anticipating that price will come into this order block initially in terms of like long termness, and then we could see price further moving down and down, right? But now in terms of entry, like gold, there is a daily order block that I can mark out over here, right? It's really relatively, we could just mark it out just to see how it looks on the lower time frame, see how we can refine it, and if it does make sense in terms of the higher time frame alignment, right? Okay, cool. So what price had happened, so we could classify this as a low, so we understand what range we're trading in. This is a low, and then this is a high, right? Perfection. The highs will make them red. The high is red, right? Relatively clean. So look at this. This is the order block that we've marked out on the daily time frame. We take the 50% zone. This is the premium and discount. So relatively, this order block is relatively in the discounted zone. So it is a highly probable order block, number one. Number two, there is a purge of liquidity that had happened on the lower time frames. This is on the 4-hour time frame, guys. Remember, you can still refine this order block as much as you'd like to. I just want to keep things a little bit clean for my sakes. And then there's a break of structure, right? So we'll remove this because we understand the confluences are stacking up for this order block to be respected. Let's go slower and slower on the lower time frames. Clean cut finish, impulsive. We could probably take this order block over here, but for now I think it's relatively looking clean. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, this is a really big order block, right? We can classify this one because it's the one that really purged the liquidity. We can identify this one as the most probable one, mainly because it did purge liquidity, or we could highlight this one too. But with Nasdaq, like Nasdaq has been really difficult to predict these days. I know people who've been trading it very well, like some of my students are killing it. But for me, I think right now it is a bit tricky to kind of trade this thing, mainly because like it's the end of the year and a lot of investors are pulling out. But we can clearly see there's some change of character, there's some sort of bullish pattern. So there's a purge of liquidity on the higher time frames, which was a mitigation of the take profit, which hit. Then prices further moving low. We could classify this as a change of character, but there's a lot of wicks, right? So you just gotta really be careful to understand what's really happening. Let's go to the lower time frames. Maybe we can get a sell into the buy. Right, so we're relatively playing along these lines, these two here points. Price has moved a little bit lower. Let's view the 15-minute time frame. 15 is really nothing, relatively clean. 5 minutes, okay, cool. So 5 minute price has been moving down a little bit correctively. We could classify this as a change of character over here, an internal change of character, right? And then this is the order block that it needed to really respect in terms of to move lower, which it didn't, right? So with Nasdaq, it is a bit iffy. It is really a bit iffy, but what I can definitely say that this is a flag pattern into pushing down. So we can anticipate that price will come back to close all this imbalance out. Maybe it might not come to the fullest point, to the lowest. Maybe you could see it come to the 50% relatively over here. So yeah, we could relatively see ourselves selling the price all the way over here, right, on the 5-minute time frame. Right now the entry isn't as clear as we'd want it to be, but we could use this order block mainly because it isn't mitigated, right? So we could just highlight this like this, clean cut finish. There was a purge of liquidity on the higher time frames like that. We could do it like this. We mark it out as a purge of liquidity, clean cut finish. Then this is liquidity as well. That's resting, that's waiting to be taken out. So we can mark this out too, right? like that, right, and push all the way this like this. So now the main reason why I'm also highlighting this thing, we don't know how the market's gonna open in the week. Price could relatively just push lower, like it could just push lower, then form some sort of thing. Then we could get an order block, relatively maybe use this one, so price would come in, tap in, then we drop all the way to the lower time frames to the take profit of the 50% that I just mentioned, right? Price could just carry on doing what it's doing, for more liquidity just to purge it, and then carry on moving down. So our entry would be here. There'd be a change of character over here. They would get a second order block over here, execute, move down, right? So it's like those are confirmational entry points. I'll put them on top over here. If you are interested in learning and wanting to learn these concepts that I teach in a deeper perspective, and get these breakdowns like straight from me, the link is in my description, like I've mentioned before. Click it if you are interested in the mentorship. It's there. I do breakdowns, daily, weekly breakdowns with all my clients, so you can get these types of entries intricately, perfectly, so you can execute, right? If you do find value in my YouTube video, please make sure you guys subscribe. Get this to at least like 20 likes, guys. Like, I love the fact that you guys are consistent and love the content that I continuously make. So just to show that love, that reposting, that would be very much appreciated. But other than that, it's another week, yet another week. Before I just leave, let me just relatively say what my predictions are for Nasdaq as the week comes in. I'm anticipating that it is gonna break out, form some sort of flag pattern. That's a big one. Maybe we can see some sort of like a consolidation into this point over here, and then we can see price coming back all the way up to mitigate this point, right? But that's overall what I can genuinely see for Nasdaq as the week approaches. But it's Mr. Flair signing out. Thank you for watching till the end.